Hey, let's go. Benking, let's go. MegaMind, Mega Time. What's up, guys? We are here at Dream Creative Space in Atlanta, Georgia, sponsored by MegaMax and MegaMax My Brand. We are here with Benking from Kenya. He is a social media content creator. He does a lot of different things. He dabbles in a lot of different businesses, but his main thing is actually helping people that need help in foreign countries, such as Kenya, correct?
Correct.
Benking, what's up? Welcome, bro. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, thank you so much. Before I even start, I want to give everything up to God first. He's the one who's brought me this far. So I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad to be here with MegaMax and with the Mega Minds.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So my name is Ben King. People call me King. Some people know me as King's Visuals. Some people know me as Benking the Artist.
There you go.
I'm originally from Kenya. I moved to the United States when I was 9 years old. So, just the American dream.
Yeah.
I guess my parents came here for the American dream. So I would say I am a first generation immigrant to this country.
There we go. From
Yeah.
Kenya.
Yep.
Do you go back? Do you go back to Kenya?
Yeah. I go back. I go back most of the time. I'm there normally half the year, and then half the year I am here in the States. So I just kind of find gotta have that equal balance and finding that grounding. So yeah, I do.
Yeah. So in Kenya, you moved here when you were 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking back when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So you just what, third grade, second grade?
Yeah, I was third grade.
Third grade?
But the crazy thing about the education system in Kenya, it's a little bit more challenging when you're in the lower ages. So some of the things that I was learning in the third grade was something like I would learn close to the fifth grade.
Okay.
So you would come here and you end up outperforming some of the kids there, and they don't know exactly where to put you.
Yeah.
But it was a
No, I love that you say that, because the thing about it is if you think about it, the education system was almost stronger
Mhm.
in your country than it really was here,
Mhm.
although the perception is that vice versa.
yeah.
And go ahead.
So, and I didn't mean to cut you off. The education is a little bit stronger. I wouldn't say it's better, right? But I would say it'd be a little bit more rigorous, right? At a younger age, some of the things that you would learn, you'll be a little bit faster, and so that balance again.
Yeah, no. So being in that environment and then coming to this country, now this is a common thing. I think is a common thing that I see a lot,
Mhm.
is where you have immigrant, second generation, first generation, really our age
Mhm.
group.
Mhm.
But if you look in the workplace, in the workforce, in the colleges, in in the students, like, immigrants are really the ones outranking at the moment, and it's simply because they did not have the same upbringing,
Mhm.
right, than the people like myself that grew up in this country. That
Mhm.
I did grow up first generation American, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
Mexican American,
Mhm.
and so a lot of immigrants just had it that much harder. So it just, like, in their nature, they work that much more to achieve their goals.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I can only give you my personal experience. Like when I was in Kenya and I was a little bit younger, I would watch a lot of things about the United States, and seeing, all these fancy buildings, fancy cars. Actually, I probably shouldn't have been watching this at 9 years old, but I was watching a lot of 50 Cent music videos,
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
So 50 Cent at that time, this is around 2004, right? 2004, I think he was probably at a great place in his career. You see him driving all the nicest cars and all the nicest things, and I would think that, wow, this is what America is,
Yeah.
But coming here and moving straight to Georgia, and living in what we lived in? We were on
Marietta.
no, not in Marietta. We were in Decatur.
Decatur.
Yeah, we were in Decatur in 2004.
Oh, shit.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm going to this promised land that I've seen on TV, right? But only to come and find out that it wasn't that. you know.
Yeah.
But what I did realize very fast was that in this is the land of opportunity, right? A lot of people don't see the opportunity, right? Once you're in a place where you see that there's no opportunity and you don't see these type of things, right? You don't have the strive, you don't strive for it, you know. But once you're in a place like the United States where you see these things, right? You can strive for them and actually acquire them by you being resilient, right? Put in the hustle, right? Of course, education is way more accessible because in education in Kenya, is something that you had to pay for. You know, me going to school in first grade, second grade, third grade, some of those places, I would have to pay for tuition, almost like you're in college. You know, so. America is the place where they would call the American dream, you know, and it's still alive. It's still alive and valid,
There we go.
and I think people just need to realize that, you know,
So the thing is, guys, sometimes we forget that we are in such a free nation that we take things for granted and we forget and we realize that all the countries around us, countries in Africa, countries in Europe, countries, even countries that border us, do not have the same capability or the access to information that the other countries do. So for example, if you want to start a business in a different country, you more than likely have to pay multiple parties before you can actually even start that business, on top of paying a tax and then paying somebody else to protect the business. It's a whole different world. There's 8 million people on the planet, and I believe that all of them would probably trade places with anybody here in the States.
anytime, any day, anytime. It doesn't even matter if you're living in the worst area. Someone would willingly trade places with you in this country. You
Absolutely.
know, willingly. You know. So, and then not even that, like what you said, sometimes you have to pay, sometimes it is. But in most cases, it's about who your family is. You know, you can just be bad luck and being born into the wrong family. You know,
And that's it.
And that's it.
That's your destiny.
That's where you cap out at.
Wow.
You know.
and it's crazy, guys. He's speaking a lot of things that we don't usually see on the day-to-day. Tell us a little bit about what you do, like, on the day-to-day. What does a day look like for Benking? And also, like, you generate income here, some way, shape, or form. But I also know, or I've heard, that you're a farmer. Right?
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So this is a venture. My day to day, I do a lot of growth operating. So and I'm mostly in the content side of things, right? So we would typically find a business, right, that is lacking in maybe in a maybe in a marketing standpoint or maybe in the content creation standpoint, and would typically just come and install some of our methods that we've used and have worked on before into their business and helping them grow somehow, you know. And that's in different places. It can be, I know you have JP Resin around, you know, you have someone who's in the epoxy business, you have people who are in the car rental business, you have people who are in different businesses. And what I do typically is I will consult them, right, on adding certain things, setting up more appointments in their business, and come up with a attainable goal of what we can put together as a team, and just how to reach out to people. So that's my day-to-day operations.
Okay.
But
You're farming.
yeah, and then my farming. So thankfully to God, through these situations, I started a farm. I started a farm.
How do you do that? Like, who do I call? I just gotta call somebody, and is it like do I gotta pick up the phone? Yo, I want to buy a farm. Like, how does one go about that? I'm curious.
So typically, if somebody wanted to start a farm in Kenya, you would figure out exactly what land or what piece of land you'd want to start the farm at. The place that we started the farm, this is a project that my father and I really got into and been pushing, is in a place called Rumaruti. Right.
Rumaruti, write that down.
Rumaruti, write it down. And Rumaruti is some semi-arid. Sometimes they suffer from like droughts and things like that. Therefore, the land, the prices of the land is a little bit on the lower side, right? But if you can find a way to dig a borehole, right, which is what ultimately we did. You can find a way to even do a drip irrigation system, right? And things like that. And that was kind of our approach. So this project was in 2020. I was actually stuck in Kenya at that time.
Wow, during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID, and everything was shut down. Fortunately, we had a trucking business that we were running, so we're running three semi trucks here.
CDLs.
Yeah, 3 CDL trucks here in the States. And from that, it was bringing us some form of, profits and whatever it is, and we're investing back into the farm. In Kenya. So we dug the borehole, and then after the borehole, the place was difficult to apply for electricity. So we used the borehole and did a solar system. So it's kind of like an off-grid farm.
So you didn't just call Georgia Power?
No. In some of these places, it's difficult for you to get electricity.
Of course.
And I think a lot of people right now are kind of understanding the benefits of living off-grid. Using our natural resources, the sun, the water, and things like that. So.
Are those some of the benefits of that?
Yeah, some of the benefits of that, and what I'm seeing right now, the benefits of it, the water, I pump thousands of liters of water every single day, right? And that same water is allowing me to give some of the people around in the community water.
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah,
so therefore they can feed their animals, right?
Wow.
Because some of them are living a nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have a certain place where some of their animals can come and just drink water. They're out on they're out.
Yeah.
They're out,
Yeah.
And some of them, and and I think that's something else that we talked about earlier about being in the United States. There's some things that you get to learn and see, right? So some of these people, like, let's say typically a cow would be, let's say a fattened cow, right? A fattened cow might cost you about $600-700, right? This is a fattened cow we're talking about, right? And some of these people are nomadic, so they're walking and grazing about 100, 200 cows at a time, So you can do the math on that.
Yeah.
You can do the math on that. So and they don't know. They don't have no one to show them. They have nobody to give them the experience. They don't have nobody to, they don't understand that.
They can sell their cows.
That they can sell some of their cows, right? But in a place like Rumaruti, where we're saying that there's drought, we suffer from drought.
Yeah.
Some of their cows are not getting. They're not getting that because there's not much things for them to graze on.
They don't have anything to eat.
Yeah, they don't got nothing to eat. So I made the initiative of just kind of helping them out and showing them that. My farm also has like Wi-Fi. Yeah, so I'm also getting them access to the internet.
Oh my gosh.
So, and that's through the solar system that I have there, So also allowing them to just expand their knowledge past being, kind of in that nomadic lifestyle.
That is amazing. You're literally changing people's lives, like trajectory of their lives. Like, the fact that, you just think about it very, very simple. Imagine you leave somewhere, you're on vacation, and your phone doesn't work, and you have zero access to GPS. What would you do in that scenario, right? Like, there's a lot of people that don't know what they would do.
Yeah.
But again, somebody in Kenya was just born, and now they have Wi-Fi, versus the one that was born and didn't have Wi-Fi. Like, do you understand the magnitude that has? You're doing a great thing, bro. God is protecting you every day, bro. Man,
and I always give big ups to him because there've been a bunch of situations. Like I told you, I was stuck there for about almost 2 years. And even a buddy of mine was stuck there, from here in the States, and he had to be there for all those years. And he saw the benefits. There's a lot of benefits, guys. There's a lot of benefits, and there's also a lot of opportunity, and it's just for you to open your eyes and see, So you never know. Somebody in Rumaruti is gonna be finding out what's going on with MegaMinds in the off-grid somewhere,
Bro, seriously though, and that's the thing. That was the big vision even for me when I first started this. It was, that I think we had a conversation. I have a buddy of mine. He runs a charity out there, Rescue 2000,
Mm-hmm.
and they started right around that same time
Mm-hmm.
in Bali, and they're building homes for families. So
Yep.
eventually, it's going to be a way for MegaMinds to really, really give back and change the world, bro. And we're going to be in Kenya.
Yeah.
You could best believe that. We're
Yeah,
going to be in
hey,
Kenya.
MegaMinds Kenya, you guys be ready.
Let's go.
There's a lot of other MegaMinds over there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I always try to tell people this as well. And I think we talked about this earlier about this, the entrepreneur journey and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We always see the glitz and glamour of entrepreneurship, but we fail to not see some of the failures.
Yeah.
There's a lot of failures that come behind this.
Have you had failures?
Oh my God!
How many?
Do I start my tears now or do I start them later?
Go ahead. I
Yeah,
want to hear.
man.
I want to hear about it.
So, what you call it? I told you when we started the farming business, we had a trucking business that was going on. And I was fortunate enough to have a fleet of 3 trucks. I know there's people who have more, but the 3 trucks were I had a system that I put together, and it was working, and things were going, things were moving. I think we're doing like 75,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
And
75K.
and the extra funds were taking that to go to Kenya and do our project over there. And as you see, the transportation business hasn't been doing so well lately. As of lately,
Yeah.
I think it's too many owner operators, too many brokers, too many this and that and third, and we experienced some losses. And I'm not afraid to say that and let you guys know that I experienced some losses, right? But in those same losses is sometimes where your breakthrough comes through.
Absolutely.
It's just about how you can stay resilient through those losses. And you as well as an entrepreneur, it's something that we should open
Yeah.
up to speak to others about.
Embrace,
Yeah.
guys. You're hitting home right now with me, because it's like people don't understand the amount of sacrifice that has taken to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care anymore, because it's like, hey, you know what? Like, I know what I've had to do,
Mm-hmm.
so nobody can take away anything that I have stacked.
Exactly.
Like, anything that I have proof of.
Yeah.
You can't take that from me.
You
know what I
did
mean?
it. You
know
did.
what I mean? So it's like, you can take all the money and all the riches and all the shit, right? But there's an undeniable amount of result that's stacked behind me that nobody can take away.
Exactly.
Same way for you,
Mhm.
right? They can take away your businesses, but you have an undeniable stack of amount of people in Kenya that know this man existed.
Thankfully to God.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like I said, I'm very strong in my faith. I'm not afraid to hide it. I'm not afraid to show it,
Yeah.
because that's the only thing that keeps me grounded, right, through these failures. A lot of entrepreneurs and things like that think, and I think maybe this is one of the reasons why my business failed, just because you get the money, you get everything happens, everything comes in, right? But then you're ready to go to that next level. You're ready to scale to that next level, right? But you don't understand that there's things that you need to do, right? You need to delegate, right? Entrepreneurs don't talk about this, You can't be a solopreneur all the time if you don't want to. You got to delegate, right? And then at the same time, you need to have a spiritual backing behind it, right? Some form of spiritual backing behind it. It gives you a purpose, right? It gives you a purpose of why you're doing and where you're going, Sometimes that can be the thing that's holding you back from the next level, So I always tell people back to back like this, If you see something is not working out, right, take an audit of yourself.
Yeah.
Take an audit of yourself and see what's going on. And when I say audit, it doesn't always necessarily mean financially.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's mentally.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's spiritually.
Socially.
Socially. And when you take that audit and you see where you're lacking at, right, you find a way to do a shift. Kind of like a shift. And you start to notice some of the friends that you're having in that place, right? It's not aligning anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's pushing you back.
Yeah.
You
You start outgrowing the people around you. Is what happens.
That's it.
And you're spitting bars right now, bro. You're talking a lot of good stuff here, guys. So ultimately speaking, if you don't have anything to ground you, if you don't have anything to believe in, right? then you're living for nothing, right?